Hello and welcome to another Intro to Programming and Database tutorial. In this tutorial, we will going to be solving the parallel arrays assignment that you have been given. Now in this assignment, you have been asked to declare 3 parallel arrays of 7 elements each. Now before I proceed, let me explain what a parallel array is. Generally speaking, if you have records, and records comprise of different items, they are not the same items. So if you have records and you want to represent those records in arrays, you need to have an array for each one of the fields within the records. For example, here in this example, we have a record or a data structure that comprises of student last name, student GPA, and the student balance due. So there are 3 set of values that make up for one record about a student. So we can create an array, one array to store all student last names, one array to store all student GPAs, and one array to store all student balance due. And each one of the array will going to be of equal length. So that's why we have 7 elements each array. So when you have a record, or when you have records that are distributed across several different arrays, such that if you go to the subscript in one array, you can find consecutive values that make up that record in the same location in the other arrays. Such arrays are called parallel arrays. For example, if you look at these 3 arrays that I have over here, I have a last names array, I have a GPAs array, and I have a balanced dues array. So Ahmed, which is the first item in the last names array, the first item in the GPAs array is Ahmed's GPA, and the balance due, which is the first balance due in the balance dues array, is Ahmed's balance due. Similarly, Yusuf has a GPA of 4 and a balance due of 7790. Sen, GPA of 3.75, balance due of 445.44. So this is how the parallel arrays are created. So if you go to the same subscript in each one of these arrays, if you add up all these values together, they're going to make up one record. So this is basically the scenario of a parallel array. So for this assignment, you are to declare 3 separate arrays, each holding portion of the record, and then you are to display this in the following fashion. So every time the loop runs, it will going to display the record of one student. So we're going to grab from the same subscript values from each one of the 3 arrays. So since, as we know that we have total of 7 elements, we can easily run a loop that will going to iterate 7 times, 0 to 6. Why 0? Because the first subscript in an array is 0. And why are we stopping at 6? Because 6 is the upper bound. So if you start counting from 0 to 6, that makes total of 7 elements. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, we will going to go through this array, one item at a time. So we need to display system.console.writeLine and student last name followed by the last names array, and we are displaying the current subscript. Similarly, for the same subscript, we will going to get student GPA from the GPAs array, and for the same subscript, we're going to grab student balance due from the balance dues array. And then, as the program says, we need to have a divider for each one of the student in the form of an asterisk. So I'm going to simply display a bunch of asterisks. So now let's run this program. So this program will going to, first of all, display all 3 information about first student, then a divider, then first 3 information about the second student and all the dividers, and we're going to go all the way to the last student with the student's last name, student's GPA, and student's balance due. So now we're going to run this program. And here we have all the information about all the students, the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. And this is how you go about working with parallel arrays, and this is how you go about storing information in parallel arrays. Hope you would have enjoyed this tutorial. Catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching.